Thanks for tuning into the trade setup with me, Niraj Shah, and it can't get bigger than what happened on Saturday night, India time. Well, the champions, the only team undefeated in a T20 World Cup to lift a title. The highest record score scored by a team batting first as well. So a lot of records that happened, but more importantly, it was a World Cup coming back to the Indian shores after 13 years, an ICC championship coming after 11 years. It brought tears to the eyes of one and many, and I think there's nothing better than that in terms of news flow over the last 48 to 72 hours. But be that as it may, it also had its pitfalls. We lost, or rather, we don't have in the future Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli or Ravindra Jadeja or Rahul Dravid in the T20 squad anymore. So, be that as it may. Anyways, let's get back to the trade. Sorry, couldn't help but bring that out. Let's take stock of the global news flow first. European stocks closed lower after the US inflation data. And in fact, the 10-year US Treasury yield rose as well after the release of the fresh data and the consumer data as well. So there the picture isn't necessarily the best. And the Asian markets are also a bit mixed as China manufacturing contracted again, but the Japanese data was positive. So in a sense, from a markets perspective, from the close of our markets until now, there's a bit of a mixed bag, if you will. In other news, and something really material from a European perspective, okay, we'll get to inside out as well, but something really important from a material perspective, a far-right Le Pen party has scored the initial round of victory in the first round of snap elections for France, and it might have meaningful implications for what happens in the European region, by the way. So keep an eye out. European stocks might be fairly choppy. They may not be exactly indicative of what's happening to world market sentiment. In other news, by the way, and BTW is by the way, and I call it by the way because it's not incidental to trade per se, but connected, if you will. Inside Out 2 has topped $1 billion mark at the global box office. First time since Barbie did, and maybe it's just getting started. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. People who watch this tell me it's a fantastic film in case you want to catch it. Okay, so US markets, mixed bag, if you will. Dow futures marginally in the green. Asia, again, like I said, mixed bag. Nikkei is up in the green as we speak. Shanghai marginally lower. And implied open suggests a flattish start for our markets. Now, where do we go from here is the key question, right? I think the key question really is, after last week's mid underperformance, are we looking at some bit of a pullback in our markets? I think that remains to be seen. Remember, mid caps and small caps, positive, but less than 1%. Large caps did really well. For the month of June as well, large caps had a 6% up move. Let's see if there is more in store. So let's get the trade setup up on the screen. IT and pharma IT pharma's relative performance versus defense last week shows the bent of the market. Maybe a move towards safety. Despite the fact that the defense stocks are getting order flow, maybe a move to safety. Let's see if it gets corroborated this week as well. In fact, if you saw in the Nifty, selling at around these levels, probably shows that this is the key point of resistance in the near term for the July series until the budget. Remember, there is heavy buying and the tape is positive, so therefore the markets may get support at lower levels, but can it move higher? Remains to be seen. And two sectors which I want to point out, city gas distributors are holding price and volume momentum. MGL, IGL, Gujarat Gas, some very solid buying, price and volume action seen there. So that's a pocket you want to watch out for. And autos is difficult to call. The two-wheeler stocks corrected, but ancillaries did really well. So it's difficult to see how will autos behave, especially as the monthly sales numbers start tracking in. And I'll talk about monthly sales numbers in just a bit, by the way. But let me rush through what are the stocks that you want to keep in mind today. Like I said, defense, under a bit of a radar, but the order flow comes in. So BEL has received a new contract worth 3,172 crores. And in addition to this, there is another over 400 crore order as well. This 3,000 crore is for Indian Army tanks, but there is an additional order worth 481 crores as well. So pretty solid order flow. Let's see if BL reacts positively. Cochin Shipyard has a pact with Norway's Wilson ASA for about 8 vessels worth about 1,100 crores. Let's see if there's a reaction here. Orchid Pharma, let's see if it has a bit of a reaction here. It's partnered with Cipla. Now, I do not know the size of this drug. but could be interesting because Orchid and Cipla have partnered. Cipla, the name might evoke response. Watch out for Orchid in the session today. I'll watch out for Godrej Properties. It's acquired leasehold rights for 11-acre land parcel in Pune with estimated revenue of 1,800 crores. In addition to that, the MMR, okay, I'll come to the MMR in a bit. Vodafone has revised tariffs on some of its mobile plans, so watch out for Vodafone. It corrected along with Bharti in Friday's session. Maybe that was profit booking. Maybe the stocks resume uptrend today. Let's wait and watch. But since I was talking about Godrej Properties, I'll revisit this as well. The Mumbai metropolitan region, MMR, property registration rose about 12% annually in June. So it will bring Oberoi, Godrej Properties, Man Infra certainly in focus in the session today. Watch out for some of the auto sales numbers as well. I've picked up the 5 that matter the most to me based on the estimates. These are the estimates. Month on month and YOY, Hero, Royal Enfield are expected to show weakness. Don't expect any positivity here. TVS Motors might have a positivity because YOY the number might look good. And M&M Cars, YOY might look good. Ashok Leyland, YOY, QOQ both will look good. So watch out for these. And watch out for Borosil because apparently Carnelian has bought into in 2 of its schemes, so maybe the stock might react positively today. So that's one stock to watch out for. And lastly, last week's key movers, I'll watch out for Airtel because it corrected some bit of profit booking, which followed a price hike taken by the company. Let's see if there is a resumption. I'll watch out for Vocard, a key drug, WCK 5222 saw positive development. The stock was locked on upper circuit. Maybe there is some upside there. I'll watch out for Craftsman Automation, highest weekly volumes and strong price momentum seen last week. Keep an eye out for this. And Tide Water Oil, wherein promoter Standard Greases bought 2% of the company. The stock was up 15% the whole of last week. Let's see if there is more in store. Thanks for tuning in.